The Unquiet Age podcast preview, episode 1. What do we lose when we are never offline? There was a time when disappearing for an afternoon required no explanation, no location history, no activity report, no concerned message asking why you had stopped responding. A person could simply walk, think, hesitate, or change direction without leaving a trail of data behind. Today, being connected is more than a convenience. It is how we work, travel, buy, remember, and prove that we belong. Our devices know when we wake, where we go, what we desire, and sometimes what we may desire next. But what happens when connection stops serving us and begins defining us? This is the question at the heart of The Last Offline Person, the first book in the Unquiet Age, a collection of contemporary existential tales by Deivede Ferreira, published by ABRAFP International Press. The story follows Elias Vale, a man living in a city where nearly every human action is recognized, predicted, and recorded. His home monitors his body. Public systems recognize his identity. Algorithms anticipate his needs. Even the digital memorial of his dead mother continues to publish new messages created from the patterns she left behind. Then, Elias notices something deeply unsettling. The system remembers facts, habits, and fragments of language, but it does not remember a person. It produces a convincing imitation of memory while quietly changing what memory means. Elias makes a radical decision. He asks to be disconnected. At first, the choice sounds like freedom. No tracking, no predictions, no automatic recommendations, no invisible audience. But the city has been designed for people who can be identified. Doors no longer open for him. Transportation systems cannot see him. A simple purchase becomes almost impossible because payment is no longer enough. The system must also know who is paying. Elias discovers that digital invisibility has a price. A person who cannot be monitored may also struggle to receive medical care, enter a building, rent a home, or ask for help. Privacy and exclusion begin to resemble one another, and then the paradox becomes complete. Elias disconnects because he wants to disappear, but his disappearance turns him into a public spectacle. The network names him the offline man. Millions of people begin watching the person who no longer wishes to be watched. His question is not whether technology is good or evil. The question is more intimate. Who decides when a person is visible? This is what makes The Last Offline Person more than a story about surveillance. It is a story about identity, grief, memory, and the right to experience something without immediately converting it into information. How much of your life belongs only to you? When was the last time you went somewhere without being guided? When was the last time you remembered someone without consulting a photograph, a message history, or a profile? And if every moment must be recorded to be recognized, what happens to the moments that leave no evidence? The Last Offline Person offers no simple rejection of technology. Instead, it asks whether a meaningful life requires spaces that cannot be optimized, predicted, or observed. Spaces where we may become lost, uncertain, and fully human. The book is a concise, thought-provoking work of existential and speculative fiction written for readers who enjoy philosophical science fiction, near-future stories, and Black Mirror-style questions about the world we are already creating. The Last Offline Person by Deivede Ferreira is available as a Kindle ebook and audiobook on Amazon. It is Volume 1 of The Unquiet Age, published by ABRAFP International Press. Follow the link in the description to discover the story. And before you return to the noise of the connected world, consider one final question. If the city did not know where you were for 2 hours, would you?